In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every ghost type in Roblox Demonology, going from the easiest ghost in the game to the most deadliest ghost ever. So to keep it simple, I've got a tier list right here, and it's got all the ghosts inside of Roblox Demonology, and I've got a chart or tier list which goes from deadly to big threat to challenging to mid and then to bot. So we've got all the ghosts right here, and we're going to get started with the very first ghost, which is the Aswang. So the Aswang, what is the Aswang? So the Aswang is apparently a ghost that has historically only been reported in the Philippines and surrounding areas, but has recently been increasingly common on a global scale. They are vampiric creatures empowered by death, with seemingly no desire outside of attacking people. The Aswang's speed increases every time they kill, walking through slows. So if you have a ghost where at start it's terrible, but if it kills someone the speed increases, it's an Aswang. Or if it's hunting and you place salt down and it slows down, then you're dealing with the Aswang. Now this ghost requires 3 pieces of evidence, just like every other ghost. It's got EMF level 5, which is when the EMF reaches level 5. The ghost rotting, which is when the ghost bites in the book, pretty self-explanatory. And then the weather, which is literally just a flower rotting. Now I've came from Phasmophobia and Blair, so I don't really know much about demonology ghosts, so information that I provide might be wrong. So I'm just gonna say what I know from this game. Now, you guys might study these ghosts and might know a lot more than I do, so forgive me if some of it's wrong, but I'm just going to go based on what I know. So the Aswang, if you're playing single player, it's not really that bad of a threat. Like, if you put salt down, then all you got to do is just get the ghost to walk through the salt once, and then you know you're dealing with the Aswang, and then that's pretty much it. Or you could just get your evidence. So if you're dealing with a regular hunt, it's not really that bad. It's probably going to be normal speed, if I had to guess from a hunt. If it kills people, if you're playing multiplayer and it kills people, and the speed increases over time, then you know you're dealing with an Aswang. So if I really had to put it up anywhere, it's a ghost that can increase speed every time it kills someone, so that's its strength. Salt slows them down, that's its weakness. Yeah, it's kind of mid, not gonna lie. Well, it depends if you're playing single player or multiplayer. So if you're playing single player, then I guess it's kind of mid, but if you're playing multiplayer, then it can probably go up to challenging. But I reckon I'll put it mid. Like, I don't think it's that good of a ghost. It's really just a ghost that gets stronger every kill. So that's where I'm gonna put the Aswang. And that's my final position. Once they're placed in the thing, I'm locking them in. I cannot move them after. So that is the final place for the Aswang, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next ghost. Okay, next up on the list we have the Banshee. Now the Banshee is a ghost that picks one person and targets that person until they're dead or they're outside the house. The Banshee in Phasmophobia also screams really loudly, which is what this ghost is well. The Banshees are characterized as harbingers of death and demise. They most commonly manifest as wailing and mournful spirits, occupying space where misfortune is bound to occur. Be less cautious of them and more cautious of what they may be warning you of. Banshees are more likely to break glass, and they might use distinct wail when hunting. The evidence is freezing temps, ghost orbs, and handprints. Now, I don't know if it mentions that the Banshee targets one player. I never really played this game multiplayer before. I've only ever played a single player. But from what I know, the Banshee targets one person and stays targeting that person until they're dead. And also, I forgot to mention as well, the Banshee stalks their prey. If the Banshee targets someone, the Banshee will stalk that person wherever they go around the map. Now, if we had to go back to the tier list here, I definitely think it's better than the Aswang, that's for sure. I do think the Banshee could be a lot more challenging than the Aswang. So, but I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the most deadliest ghost. So I reckon I'll only put it in challenging. Like, I don't think it's that special of a ghost when you think about it. If you're the target, then it'll probably go up to big threat. But if you're not the target, it'd be challenging. The fact that it can follow you makes it a little bit more scary. But for now, I'm gonna leave it in challenging. That's my final lock-in. I'm locking in that like rank placement, and we're gonna move on to the next ghost. Next up we have is the Demon. Now this one is honestly one of the scariest ghosts. I mean, it's literally called Demon. It literally says use extreme caution when interacting with a demon. They're extremely hostile and dangerous. Demons hunt frequently. Crosses are more effective on them. Crosses probably means crucifixes. So basically what a demon does is it can literally hunt you the moment it walks inside. Now, if you look at the evidence, it says EMF 5, freezing temps, which is when the temperature goes below 0 degrees, and handprints, which is when it leaves a UV fingerprint. It will look like this on the screen right now. And basically, if you notice something about the evidence, this is something I just recently picked up on. The evidence, it's something that you have to go in the house for. It encourages you to like go inside the house and collect the evidence yourself, which is what the demon wants, so that way it can hunt and kill you. So it doesn't have, what I mean by that is like it doesn't have evidence like ghost orbs or the dots. It has evidence where you have to go in the house and actually do it yourself. Now, what it means by crosses are more effective on them is basically what it means is that if you use a crucifix or a cross on the demon, it pretty much prevents it from hunting for a longer period of time. Now, I've experienced a demon before, and they've honestly been very scary, especially when they hunt you like a billion times when you're just trying to leave the house. Like, you can literally just be collecting evidence, and then it'll hunt you. And then maybe you go back and see if anything happened, or you're fixing up your gear, and then next thing you know, it's hunting you again as you're about to leave the house. Or you could be going in the house, placing your equipment down, and as you're going back out to get more, it hunts. And then as you're bringing the next bit of equipment, it hunts again. So where would I put the demon? It's definitely above a Banshee, because it's actually more encouraging and it's more threatening, unlike these two. I definitely think it's big threat. I don't think it's deadly. Never mind, I do think it's kind of deadly. Like, I mean, what can get worse than a ghost that hunts you every 20 seconds? Probably even less than 20 seconds, actually. It's literally a ghost that can hunt you whenever it just feels like it. It could just be sitting back on the couch and goes, yep, you know what, I want to hunt him. So it's definitely gone deadly. It's definitely one of the deadliest ghosts in all of Demonology, really in all of Phasmophobia. But it's definitely going there, and that is my final answer. Moving on to the Dullahan. The Dullahans are most commonly known as headless horsemen, are legendary characters of folklore, often traveling long distances on their horses. They can be very dangerous when they decide to stick around. Now, it appears headless in photos. That is a key information. So if you're looping the ghost around the table and you take a photo of it, but it's headless, then you instantly know it's the Dullahan. Now, the evidence for this ghost is freezing temps, laser projector, and then wither. So it's really a ghost that, like, again, you kind of have to be in the room, but you don't have to be in the room at the same time. Like, freezing temps, you have to be in the room for it. Laser projector, it's like you can be in either. You can be in the room or you can watch it in the van or the cameras. And then the wither is really just, you just wait it out. Because it does say it's dangerous, and that is a key word we kind of need. They move faster the longer they see their target. Now, that's another one we definitely need to worry about. I don't think this ghost has any weaknesses besides the fact that it can be pretty much identified easily if you just take a photo of it. So if you're playing on an open map and it's staring at you as it's chasing you down a hallway, it's gonna speed up. You're gonna see it, you're gonna look at it, and it's gonna be like 100 meters away. And then you're gonna turn around, run, turn around, and it's gonna be 2 inches from you. So I reckon this ghost is sort of up there. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it big threat. I don't think it's deadly. I mean, if you're playing a small house map like Juniper Street, then all you have to do is turn a corner or just hide in a closet and you'll be fine. I definitely think it's way more deadly than the Banshee, but I don't think it's as deadly as a demon. So I reckon the Dullahan can definitely stay in big threat. I reckon it suits it really well. And we're going to move on to the next ghost. Now, next is the Dybbuk, and that is a really weird name if you have to ask me. Dybbuks are malicious ghosts that have a strong bond with possession and pursue a specific goal or ideal before parting from the mortal plane. They have a unique ability of interacting with corpses. Dybbuks can throw corpses. They are stunned when a music box is first played. So it can throw corpses. Now I don't know why someone would need to do that. So it can throw corpses, and then it's stunned when the music box is first played. It gives you pretty much more chance to run. Like, are there any strengths in this ghost at all? So the evidence for this ghost is freezing temps, handprint, and wither. We've gone over what they are, so I don't need to do that again. But this ghost is a confusing one because I don't really see what's so good about this ghost. It can throw corpses. Okay, can the corpse kill you? They snipe you? No, I don't really see anything good about this ghost. Now, if you go back to the chart right here, or the tier list, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling kind of bot for this one. Like, it can throw a corpse. What's so good about that? If it can kill you, then sure, I'll put it up in mid. But for now, bot. I don't see anything good about a Dybbuk. I'm probably pronouncing Dybbuk wrong, but I'm calling it Dybbuk from here on out. And that is it for the Dybbuk. We now have one ghost in every slot, so that's pretty cool, I guess. At least we have a deadly ghost and a bot ghost. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next ghost. Next up on the list is the Entity. Now, the Entity is a powerful force that transcends typical hauntings. While its control over the environment is limited, it has been observed to teleport, granting a heavy influence. The evidence required for this ghost is handprints, laser projector, and spirit box. The handprints make sense because it can throw stuff. The Entity can teleport. That is a bad thing. And it can also teleport items before throwing them. So not only can it grab something and just chuck it, it teleports it and then chucks it. Like, if you pick up a PlayStation controller right here, you can teleport it like this, and then just bang. You can literally grab it like this, throw it backwards, full on dime it to yourself, and then Kobe. The Entity can literally just play basketball with itself. It's literally just a rage baiting ghost. That's all it really is. But I do think it's kind of dangerous, the fact that it can teleport around the map. So if I had to put this anywhere in the list, I'll put it in challenging. Like, maybe in between big threat and challenging. But I don't think it's fully big threat, but I am leaning towards challenging more. So that's going to be my ranking for the Entity. That can stay where it is. I reckon I'm happy with that. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the spirit. Now, the spirits are manifestations of the souls of the deceased. They are able to project in the physical world and have been observed to manipulate electronic frequencies. They are often eager to communicate with the living and are generally considered harmless. Spirits have no documented strengths. They can alter the flame's color of candle. It has ghost writing, handprint, and spirit box. Notice how pretty much none of them are electronic. The spirit box, I guess, is electronic, so that kind of counts. But it does say that it can communicate with the living. It's basically a ghost that is really friendly, but I guess kind of has to kill you because that's like, it's a ghost. It's like a ghost that's like being forced to kill you, but it doesn't really want to. Now, they're able to project in the physical world. So that means that they can become a physical person. Spirits have no documented strength, so that means it's pretty much a poopy ghost. Now, I've had a spirit in Phasmophobia many times, but I've never really had a spirit in this. I think I've had it like once or twice. They're pretty trash. It's really just the default ghost. It's like they had to get a ghost that didn't have anything special, and that's it. But yeah, I wouldn't really say it's a good ghost unless I'm massively underestimating the spirit and I just get tickled by one of them next time I play the game. But yeah, I reckon the spirit can definitely go in probably bot. I reckon the spirit can definitely sit in bot. Like, it's kind of an easy ghost to beat. I wouldn't really say it's mid. I don't think it's definitely up there. It's definitely not in these three. Like, it doesn't match with the entity, it doesn't match with the Dullahan, and nowhere near matches the demon. I'm definitely putting it in bot. Like, an Aswang, I do think the Aswang is definitely better than the spirit. I mean, like, the spirit had no strength. It literally said it had no strength. Yeah, the spirit is definitely a ghost that can stay in bot. I'm happy with it in bot. If you guys aren't happy with it, let me know in the comments. But I reckon I'm happy with this ranking so far. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the Ghoul. Ghouls are regarded as troublemaking ghosts, more focused on playing than harming. They often engage in behavior to frighten people in their vicinity, but are quick to anger. Exercise caution when in the presence of a ghoul. Ghouls may become enraged if they hear talking. They can't disable electronics. So the Ghoul is really a ghost that, like, if you talk, then you're gonna get attacked. So it's a ghost that events a lot more often. The evidence required is a freezing temps, ghost orbs, spirit box. It's probably a ghost that, like, just likes to troll with their victims, similar to the entity. So it really just, like, it's probably another rage baiting ghost that, like, it likes to scare the crap out of their victims and then punch them if they hear talking. Spirit box probably isn't the best piece of evidence for the Ghoul, but I say this ghost is up there, pretty dangerous. The fact that it's spirit box means it's definitely up there and dangerous. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I'd say it's up there. If I had to give the Ghoul anywhere, I'd probably actually say big threat. I mean, if you're talking, which you kind of have to get spirit box, then it's obviously going to be a big threat. Like, you pretty much have to talk to it, especially if it's constantly scaring the crap out of you, then it's going to be even more scary. So I reckon it deserves to get big threat. It's definitely not up there with demon and deadly, but I reckon it deserves to get big threat. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Keres. Kereses are best described as angels of death. They wander, aiming to feed on the souls of the deceased. They prey on the weakest targets that they're able to sense. It is best to remain mindful of and maintain high energy levels when dealing with the Keres to avoid being targeted. Keres' speed decreases with each kill, similar to the Aswang. They target hunters with the lowest energy. So it's literally the Aswang, but inverted. Its speed decreases instead of increases. You pretty much have to keep your energy high. So it's going to be pretty fast at the start because obviously it hasn't killed anyone. And they target people with the lowest amount of energy. So if your energy is pretty low, then you're most likely going to get hunted a lot. Probably nearly as much as you're dealing with a demon. The evidence needed for this ghost is the handprint, the spirit box, and the wither. But yeah, it was kind of a fast ghost. And I will say it's definitely something you don't want to try and loop. I'd say it's kind of up there, especially if you're playing single player. If your energy is probably going to be low because you're going to have to do everything yourself. You're going to have to be in the house a lot, which is going to lower your energy, which you're going to favor towards the ghost. Now, if I had to put the ghost up on anywhere, I'd probably actually say big threat. I mean, it's a ghost that's super fast. It targets people with low energy, and it's pretty much OP. So it's a ghost that's pretty fast off rip. It targets people with the lowest energy, pretty much getting 3 easy kills, telling you to be on your toes at all times. So I reckon it's a ghost that can definitely be a big threat. Would I say deadly? Probably not. I don't think it's that deadly of a, but I'd say it's up there in big threat. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the Wisp. Next up on the list is the Wisp. A Will-o'-the-Wisp, commonly known as the Wisp or just Wisp, is a spirit that typically haunts swamps but have recently been observed invading homes and other buildings. They have a particular affinity for fire. Wisps can walk through fire. They can only start a hunt in their favorite room. So if you're out on the opposite side of the map, you know the ghost isn't just going to spawn on top of you or spawn in a different room. It's 100% going to spawn where it is unless you summon it with a summoning circle. The evidence required for this ghost is the ghost orb, the laser projector, and the wither. It can walk through fire. that is kind of dangerous if you ask me. I mean, it's a ghost. Don't you think any ghost can walk through fire? They can only start a hunt in his favorite room. That makes it kind of weak. Like, if a ghost decides to wander, then it can't. Yeah, it's really a ghost that you can literally be a van princess for. It honestly is probably the best ghost to be a van princess for. So if you ever have a van princess in your squad, they're gonna hope that they encounter this ghost so they have a reason to be a van princess. But yeah, I don't really think this ghost is dangerous. And they can only start a hunt in their favorite room. If I had to give it a rating, not gonna lie, bot. Like, what's so good about it? I mean, it's literally a ghost that you can sit outside and collect evidence. It hunts only inside its room. So yeah, it's definitely deserved bot. I reckon it is well deserved for bot. I don't think it's mid. I mean, if anything, I do think the Spirit is better than the Wisp. It's generally useless. But that's it for the Spirit, or the Wisp, sorry. And we're going to move on to the Leviathan. The Leviathan. Leviathans are physical manifestations of chaos and destruction, and are dangerous and unpredictable, as you'd expect. They have a particular affinity for throwing objects. It can throw multiple objects and can disable lights passively. Can't every ghost just turn off the lights? Its evidence are ghost writing, handprint, and ghost orbs. Yeah, it's a ghost that can turn off lights and can throw a bunch of objects, and apparently are dangerous. So I'd say this ghost is honestly up there, maybe. I mean, it literally says it's dangerous after all, and unpredictable. They do like throwing objects, so it's really easy for it to be given away. Yeah, I wouldn't really say this ghost is much of a threat. I'd say it's up there somewhere. If I had to put it somewhere, low-key, I'd probably put it mid. I don't think it's bot level, but I don't think it's challenging. I mean, yes, it says it's dangerous, but is it really dangerous? I mean, I'm pretty sure Leviathan was actually the very first ghost I encountered when I played this game, and low-key, it was easy. I survived it. I mean, it just throws a bunch of objects. That's it. It throws a bunch of objects and can turn off lights, which literally any other ghost can do that. So for that, it deserves mid, and it's gonna stay in mid. And now that we're done with Leviathan, we're gonna move on to Nightmare. Now, judging by the Nightmare, I'm hoping this one can probably be deadly. I mean, it's called Nightmare for a reason. So nightmares, as the name suggests, commonly manifest themselves as bad dreams and usually harmless. However, particularly powerful nightmares can manifest themselves in the physical world, exhibiting much of the same behavior expected from an average ghost. Nightmares can cause hallucinations. They hunt more often in the dark. The fact that it can make you hallucinate is really deadly. They hunt more often in the dark, which pretty much forces you to have the lights on. So yeah, it's a ghost that pretty much makes you have the lights off, so that way it can hunt more often. So honestly, I actually think this might be a deadly ghost. I mean, the three evidences down below are pretty much evidences that you have to have in the dark. I guess EMF you don't really, but ghost orbs and spirit box you have to have in the lights off, unless it's different in demonology, of course. But yeah, it's a ghost that can literally cause hallucinations. They hunt more often in the dark, which pretty much enforces you to keep the lights on. But yeah, I definitely think this ghost is up there somewhere. This might honestly be the second deadly. I haven't encountered this ghost, thankfully, but if I have encountered this ghost, then it probably would be up there and deadly. But judging by the sound of it, I mean, there's hallucinations, it hunts in the dark, it requires evidence that can only be obtained in the dark. Yeah, let's just make the ghost the most OPS ghost in the game. Deadly, 100%. I mean, I still don't think it's better than the demon. I do think the demon is the most deadliest ghost in the game. But yeah, I definitely think the Nightmare is the second most deadliest ghost in the game. I mean, we still have a few more ghosts to go, so one of these ghosts could overtake the Nightmare in deadliest. But this is definitely what I'm happy with. I'm happy with the Nightmare being in deadly. I do think it deserves deadly. Now that we've got the Nightmare out of the way, we're going to move on to the Oni. We're now over halfway with this video, and we're now moving on to the Oni. Onis are a class of ghosts believed to originate in Japan, but sightings have been reported all across the globe. They are known for manifesting often and having a terrifying physical appearance. Oni sprint during hunts. They manifest more commonly than other ghosts. The evidence of freezing temps, laser projector, and spirit box. Oni is definitely up there. It pretty much scares the crap out of them. It manifests more than other ghosts. It sprints during hunts, which means it's a lot faster. I'd definitely give it the top of Big Threat. At the very front of Big Threat. I don't think it's deadly. It doesn't say it hunts a lot, like the demon and the Nightmare. It's definitely up there. It events more than other ghosts, which is deadly, but not as deadly as demon or Nightmare. I reckon it's either the very top of Big Threat or it's the bottom of deadly. You know, I'll put it in deadly. I think it deserves a spot in deadly. I mean, it manifests a lot more. It has a terrifying physical appearance. It sprints, which I forgot about that, and it's more commonly to manifest than other ghosts. So yeah, honestly, I actually think it deserves its deadly spot, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the Phantom, which is one of my favorites. Phantoms are ethereal apparitions that manifest less frequently than similar ghosts. They are misattributed as shy, timid, but can certainly be aggressive. They are commonly associated with and can be aggravated by intense emotions. Phantoms blink slower during hunts and move faster while invisible. Basically, what they're trying to say is that the Phantom could be like here, and then next minute it's not, and then next minute it's there again, and then next minute it's not. So it moves faster while invisible. So basically what it is that it's chasing you, and then when it blinks, it pretty much gains more distance, and then blinks again, and then gains more distance, and then blinks again. So it's kind of a scary ghost. Evidence is EMF level 5, handprint, and ghost orbs. Yes, Phantom is definitely up there in one of the deadliest ghosts of the game. I mean, it can go invisible, so that should be enough. But yeah, I reckon this ghost is definitely up there on deadliest ghosts in the game. And with experience of dealing with a Phantom, they are very scary and fun to play with, but also they're kind of interesting. So if I had to give the Phantom anything, I'd probably give it big threat. I wouldn't say deadly. I don't think it's as deadly as Oni, Nightmare, or Demon. But yeah, Phantom can definitely go big threat. It's definitely well deserved. I mean, I've had a lot of experience with Phantom, so I definitely know what it's like. But yeah, that's that for the Phantom, and we're gonna move on to probably one of the deadliest ghosts in the game, the Revenant. The Revenant, also known as one of the most deadliest ghosts in ghost hunting games. Revenants are highly vengeful, often drawing their strength not from fear but from anger. They are relentless, hunting anyone they have the opportunity to. They are unstoppable when enraged. Revenants have a low hunt cooldown. They will rest if they've killed someone. Basically, the Revenant is a ghost that seeks revenge. What it does is, if you're in the room with it, it won't do anything, like it won't hunt you at all. But the moment you step out, it will start like hunting, eventing, doing whatever it wants. So the evidence required for this ghost is EMF level 5, freezing temps, and ghost riding. All evidence you have to be in the room for, which means when you're in the room collecting evidence, it probably won't do anything. If the Revenant basically sees you, it will chase after you. It's like a really slow ghost, but once it sees you, it will start chasing after you like lightning speed, Usain Bolt sprinting after you. But now you're probably wondering, where would I rank this ghost? Well, the Revenant is a very fun ghost to deal with. I'd say it's above challenging, 100%, so it's in one of these two. I honestly have to say, because of its speed, and because of the fact that it does nothing when you're in the room, but in the moment you step out, it can start hunting. Like literally the exact second you take a step out of the room, it will start chasing you, or hunting you. So for that, I actually think I might have to give it deadly. Like, it can't be anywhere else. Yes, you could probably argue and say it could be big threat, but it can't be one of these three. And no way is it, but it's definitely one of the most deadliest ghosts in Demonology. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm locking that in. Now it's time we move on to the next ghost, the Siren. Sirens are mostly known for their distinct singing voices, which are commonly used to lure sailors into their demise. Though they've also been seen roaming far away from the ocean. Keep an ear out for their distinct singing voices that you can hear through the spirit box. Basically, as it says, is that you can hear it singing in the spirit box. If you're talking to it in the spirit box, sometimes its responses will be singing, which is why one of the evidences is the spirit box along with the EMF 5 and Wither. So what I think I know what the Siren is probably just a ghost that makes a lot of scary noises. It doesn't really seem anything special. Sirens slow people they see while hunting. They always respond in a female voice. So if you have a spirit box and the only response you're getting is a female voice, then you can be suspicious of the Siren, or you probably know it's a Siren, and it slows people when they see it. So basically, if you're in the line of sight of the Siren, your speed will reduce. So if you're in a hunt and all of a sudden you're slowing down, then you're probably dealing with a Siren. So it's a great way to figure out if you've got a Siren. I would say it's quite dangerous. The fact that it can slow you down means that it can kill you a lot easier than... Yeah, Siren is definitely a ghost that I think deserves to be up there, like with probably like challenging or above. But like, where would I put it on this? I'd probably put it in challenging. I mean, the fact that it's really easy to figure out. If it's a female voice and your speed is dropping, then that's pretty much it. But with the evidence, the Wither is a really easy one to figure out. You just have to sit there and do nothing. The EMF 5, you have to actually be in the room and witness an event. And the spirit box is pretty much something you can hear easily. You can either hear the singing or you can just hear the female voice. So yeah, the Siren, I reckon, can stay in challenging. I don't think it's big threat. I doubt it's up there with the other big threats we have here. I reckon it's okay for it to just be challenging. I don't think it's mid. I think the fact that it slows you down when hunting deserves to be challenging, because it makes it a lot harder to run, especially if you're playing an open map, or if you're far away from a hiding spot, or if you're trying to like loop the ghost. And it can definitely be tricky towards new players as well, because they won't have like incense and stuff. But yeah, I definitely think it deserves to be challenging, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to lock it in. And we're going to move on to the next ghost, the Skinwalker. Now, when I first heard this one was one of my favorites. The Skinwalkers are elusive ghosts with the unique ability to mimic the abilities of other ghosts. They are frequent roamers spending more time outside of their favorite room. To identify Skinwalkers requires extreme precision. Skinwalkers can fake ghost orb evidence. They can mimic other ghost abilities. The evidence needed is freezing temps, ghost riding, and spirit box. It can basically fake ghost orbs, so if you have freezing temps, ghost riding, and ghost orbs, make sure you also have spirit box as well, so you're not thinking it's a different ghost. And let's say you have ghost orbs and ghost riding, make sure you get one of the other two before you can make your final decision. So yeah, if you ever get ghost orbs, make sure you have other pieces of evidence, so don't just get ghost orbs and that's it. Another good way to play Skinwalkers is if you're playing no evidence and you get ghost orbs, you obviously know it's not the Skinwalker. And the fact that it can mimic other people's abilities means it's very dangerous and can be very trippy when it comes to guessing it. So Skinwalker, I'd say, could actually be up here somewhere. I probably wouldn't say deadly. I mean, it's not, I mean, technically yes, because it can mimic any of the 3 ghosts or the 4 ghosts listed in the deadly category. But it could also end up mimicking one of these. But I do gotta say, the amount of times a lot of people have been manipulated by these, even if they're pros or noobs, I do gotta say, I'll probably put it in big threat. I don't think I'll put it in deadly. I don't think it deserves deadly. Yes, it can technically be one of the 4 up here, but I just don't think it deserves to be deadly. Like, I don't think it is that dangerous. I mean, it's really easy to figure out. And like, another reason why it doesn't deserve deadly, because again, it could end up mimicking like a wisp or a spirit. Yeah, I think it deserves big threat. It's not the deadliest ghost and it's not the easiest ghost, but it is definitely up there, so it deserves to be big threat. And now we're going to move on to the next ghost. Next up on the list is the Shadow. Shadows are barely perceptible apparitions that rarely interact with their environment. Preferring to reside calmly in the dark, they are shy and tend to avoid people though they are known to be defensive of their favorite room. Shadows do not alter temperature much, and they are less active in well-lit rooms. The evidence required is EMF 5, ghost riding, and laser projector. So yeah, the Shadows doesn't really alter the temperature that much, so that's why freezing temps isn't on here. So if you're in the ghost room and it's pretty much the same temperature the entire time, it's definitely a Shadow. I played with a Shadow once, and it wasn't really that scary because all you have to do is keep some of the lights on. Just keep the main area and the ghost room lit and you'll be fine. So I wouldn't really say it's up there. I mean, if the breaker goes out, then you might be cooked because it could probably get active there, especially if your sanity is low. They're very active in dark rooms, which means they hunt a lot more, they'll vent a lot more in the dark rooms, but they'll be very like less active and they'll be kind of like shade worthy in the dark rooms, in the light rooms. So yeah, it's more active in the dark and they're shy. Yeah, they're not the best of ghosts. I probably wouldn't say it's around this level. I'll probably give it mid. I wouldn't give it bot. I mean, it is quite challenging or quite different. It's not bot level. I wouldn't say it's worthy enough of being, I wouldn't say it's that bad enough to be one of the 3. I definitely think it's mid. Like, I don't think it's challenging. I don't think it's bot. It's definitely not these 2. But yeah, I definitely think it deserves to be mid. I'm happy with that, so we're going to move on to the next ghost, the Specter. Now, I've actually never encountered this ghost, so I'm learning a lot of stuff in this as well. Specters are strongly bound to their favorite room. When in the same room as one, many say they feel as an ominous sense of unease. Specters are known for their profound control over the environment. Specters are more likely to throw items, and they do not roam except while hunting. Evidence required is EMF level 5, freezing temps, and laser projector. If I had to guess anything when encountering it, it'd probably be like it's more active in the same room. Like if you're not in the room, then it's less active. It's like the Revenant, but like the opposite, if you get what I'm trying to say. It's like the opposite of a Revenant. So it's probably not that deadly. I mean, all you have to do is not be in the ghost room, but you kind of have to be in the ghost room to get freezing temps in EMF 5. Laser projector, you can sit in the van for. Again, I've never encountered this ghost, so this will be a lot different for me. I'm obviously learned this ghost, so you guys may know. So this position in the ranking list might be a lot inaccurate than what you guys may think. I've never actually encountered this ghost before. They are strongly bound to their favorite room, which means the longer you're in the ghost room for, the more likely you're going to get hunted, the more likely you're going to get killed probably. So the Spectre, I'd probably put in challenging. Like, I wouldn't say it's mid. I wouldn't say it's big threat. I reckon challenge is a good fit for it because like you have to be in the ghost room, but like it doesn't want you in the ghost room because it's very defensive of it. Challenging is a good fit. I don't think it's big threat. I don't think it's mid. Definitely not bot and definitely not deadly. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next ghost. Next up is another ghost that I've never actually really discovered before. It's called the Umbra. The namesake of the Umbra board. Umbras are elusive, shadowy apparitions born from fear. As they weigh as much as a shadow, they make no sound when walking. Their presence is often said to be deeply unsettling. Umbras do not make footstep sounds, they move slower in lit rooms. The evidence required is handprint, ghost orbs, and laser projector. It doesn't make footstep sounds when hunting. That is scary, obviously. But judging by the fact it doesn't make footsteps and they are slower in lit rooms, so if it's hunting you and you're in the dark area, it would be fast. But if you just walk into like a lit area or just turn on a light, then it'd probably be a lot slower. You could be thinking, oh, I can't hear it, it's obviously far away. But no, it's actually right next to you, staring at you. So yeah, if I had to put that somewhere, I'd probably put it in big threat. I don't think it's deadly. I don't think it's worthy of deadly. I mean, especially if you have the light on or if you have most of the lights on, then it won't be that big of a deal. The quiet footprints is the part that gets you going, oh yeah, that's definitely a deadly ghost or a big threat of a ghost. Big threat definitely seems like a good spot for it. You could argue and say it's challenging, but I reckon big threat is good for it. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the third last ghost, the Vex. Vex, while not a ghost in the traditional sense, is a presence that acts as the physical embodiment of anger and displeasure. They do not occupy the physical space in the same way we'd expect from other ghosts. Vex are invisible on LiDAR scans. They can walk through walls. That's scary. Evidence: freezing temps, ghost orbs, and wither. So I don't really understand what it's trying to say. They do not occupy in a physical space. What does that mean? They can walk through walls. That's kind of scary. So yeah, if you're in like a house map and you walk around a corner or walk into a room, you're not safe. It's gonna walk through the wall and pretty much appear right behind you. I don't think it's bot. I reckon the walking through walls makes it scarier. It probably could be challenging, but due to my lack of information provided, I'm gonna give it mid. And now we're gonna move on to our second to last ghost, the Wendigo. The Wendigo, which also looks like a mutated version of the deer from 99 Nights in the Forest. Wendigos are horribly malformed creatures, less ghost and more monster character. Wendigos are incredibly afraid of fire, making candles and lanterns a good tool for fending them off. Still, it's best to be cautious. Wendigos won't start a hunt near a lit flame. They move faster as average energy lowers. But if you're in a room and you have a candle, it won't hunt you until the candles blow out. And if it's hunting you, it will be a lot faster depending on your sanity. The evidence needed for this ghost is ghost riding, ghost orb, and laser projector. So it definitely seems like a deadly ghost, I reckon. The fire bit nerfs it a little bit, but it does speed up depending on your energy, which the energy isn't really something you can check in the middle of the map. You have to be out or have a friend tell you. So where would I put the Wendigo, you may ask? Low-key, I reckon big threat. You could argue and put it in deadly, or you could put it down to challenging. I don't really see it being challenging. I reckon big threat or possibly deadly would be a good fit for it. I reckon Wendigo being a big threat is definitely what it suits for. I'm happy with that. I'm going to lock that in, and we're going to move on to the last ghost, the Wraith. Last but not least, the Wraith. Wraiths are malevolent, shadowy apparitions noted for their profound aggression. They are known to inflict an impending sense of doom on people around them. Be wary when interacting with a Wraith in any capacity. Wraiths quickly deplete energy from hunters. They refuse to disturb lands or soul. Basically saying the Wraith doesn't step in soul at all. So if you have a motion sensor down over assault, and the motion sensor goes off but there's nothing in sight, then you're dealing with a Wraith, or unless it's a Skinwalker. Evidence needed is EMF level 5, laser projector, and spirit box. It more says before hunting more than during hunting. It does quickly deplete energy, which makes it sort of challenging, I guess, but it's more of a ghost that does stuff before it hunts than during the hunt or after the hunt. So it's more of the ghost that builds it up, and then it doesn't really do much. It's just a regular ghost when it hunts. But if you're ever dealing with a Wraith, it will definitely deplete your energy, wanting it to hunt a lot more, but it's definitely not anything you have to worry about. But yeah, it's definitely not that big of a worry. I wouldn't have to worry about it that much if I was dealing with a Wraith. But yeah, it's really easy to figure out if it doesn't step in salt. It's one of the things you can knock off instantly if you're playing no evidence. So if I put the Wraith in anywhere, honestly, challenging. Like, it's more of the build up that is more scarier than the hunt itself. I reckon it's good, and it definitely deserves challenging. It's gonna stay in challenging, and I'm happy with that. So there we go. That's my official ranking of where I'd rank every ghost in Demonology. I reckon I'm happy with that. So in bot category, we got Dybbuk, Spirit, and the Wisp. In mid category, we got Aswang, Leviathan, Shadow, and Vex. In the challenging, we got Banshee, Entity, Siren, Specter, and Wraith. In big threat, we got Phantom, Dullahan, Ghoul, Keres, Skinwalker, Umbra, and Wendigo. And in the deadly category, we got Demon, Nightmare, Oni, and Revenant. Honestly, I reckon I'm happy with that. If you think anything's wrong, let me know in the comments. But that's going to be it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell so you never miss another video again. Comment down below if I should make more Demonology videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like, mini skirt, guys busting out the boats.